let me just get into it, because I have these questions I just keep asking, all right? Because I see all these alpha male types. I work with them. I see them in public. I see them on the internet. Them. I have to smell them. The same thing plagues me every time I see them, and I just can't stop shaking this one stupid question, because it just doesn't make sense to me why it isn't true. But why have these alpha males not become Batman yet? Why is there no Batman, Tony Stark type beats out here? So let's digest what the fuck these alpha males are doing. So in the comic book series, for those who don't know, Batman is the world's richest orphan, okay? He lives in a city called Gotham, which is imaginary. And he fights a bunch of imaginary people because Batman's a made-up story. And then if you want to think about the other flip side of that, there's Tony Stark, and Tony Stark is the world's richest orphan, but not the world's richest orphan at the same time. See, he knew his dad, but they didn't have a catch or something. So he went out and he banged a bunch of chicks and shit, and then he made a bunch of engines, and then eventually he got stuck in this desert, and then he made this big suit of armor. It was sick. It was it was really cool. I don't think these alpha males actually have the capacity to be Tony Stark, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say disqualified. Yeah, that's right. No Tony Starks, but Batman's freaking doable, man. I ain't just talking about Chris Bale doable. I'm talking about it's totally plausible to be Batman now. I don't understand how no one isn't Batman. It's pissing me off. Hey, crime is on the rise, you guys. You hear about this? You read about this? You see this? You hear about this? Crime is basically everywhere now. Everywhere that you go, there's crime. There's crime in the schools. There's crime at the libraries. There's crime in the White House. There's crime in the backyard. There's crime anywhere you want to go, okay? So what are these alpha males up to other than flexing money and lifting weights on the gram? You could find fentanyl anywhere in the U.S. You could find people just hitting that fentanyl just anywhere across the U.S. And I think that it would be a really fun idea if we got all of those guys together, right? And we got them in a line, and then when they woke up, we slapped one of them, and they all woke up in a domino effect, and then we try to get them to conga. I think that would be really fun. These aren't, these are the solutions. You may not like them, but they are the solutions, you understand? But back to my point, why aren't these alpha male types busting up drug dealers? How are you flexing all this, money and all this muscle, but you haven't toppled a single empire? What? Why do you have to be the supervillain? Why can't one of you guys just be, a superhero,
I'm coming right to your backyard. You hear me? I made my first dollar when you were still in your mom's womb.
I don't go to the ocean to listen to the waves. The ocean gets quiet to listen to my footsteps.
Look at these guys. They're out here, they got the money and they're flexing. They got all of, that going on. And what are you doing? What are you why are you trying to flex on everybody? Why don't you go flex on some criminals, man? Why don't you go flex on some freaking ne'er-do-wells? What are you doing at flexing on me, bro? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go stop a slumlord who's, a slum rent lord guy, that's kicking out all the single moms, dude. Why don't you go stop that guy? Flex on that guy. It doesn't make sense to me. All of these alpha males be like, I'm so tough.
People look at me as soon as I walk in and they're like, who is this guy? I look like I'm going to hurt somebody. I don't look like I walk into a place and I'm just coming to have a good time. Or I'm coming to eat lunch. When I walk in, it's like I'm literally going to hurt somebody.
I love to talk. I love to joke. I love to laugh. I love to give advice. But be careful when I go silent.
I don't have enemies. Because when I have them, I just eat them. Be like, I'm so tough. Oh, big fucking whoop-de-doo. Who freaking cares? Go out, find some criminals, put in that Batman type work. Why are you telling me on the internet, dude? I edit videos. I make music. I call my mom on a regular basis, dude. I'm not hard. Who the hell are these videos for? Who the hell are watching this? What meta is this? We have people literally out here going to the movies, watching superhero movies, going, oh, dang, I wish I could be like that guy. And then they get home, and then they watch these alpha male dudes, and they be like, oh, damn, I wish I could be like that guy. But they can't put 2 and 2 together that one is real and could be Batman, and one's literally fucking Batman. I'm not calling for vigilante justice, okay? I just want to make this clear. I am not calling for vigilante justice. This is a call to action. You guys should take your boundless wealth and your boundless musculature and, you know, maybe hit the pavement and fight some crime, dude. Quit teaching people how to day trade and teach people how to take down the drug trade. I don't need to know how to lift something that's heavy over my head. It's like that. Why don't you get in the fucking gym and show me how to throw a Batarang, dude? Why don't you use your money to fund an exoskeleton so that when some guy with a gun that will just shoot you and stop you, even though you can lift a pickup over your truck, comes at you, you don't die? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? And then you could be Tony Stark, but I know you can't. I know you can't design it yourself, but you can pay someone. We literally have people out here working out to the point that they become fat, and when they could just be in the streets whooping ass. I had that kind of money, I would not be on the gram flexing my money. I would not be flying out to Maui. I would not talking to be no honeys. I would be flying down to Singapore, tracking down my nemesis. You know what I'm saying? I'm down in Guadalajara, tracking down some dame, you know, because that's what I gotta do, because I'm a noir type superhero, and you guys can do your own thing, you know, but that's the kind of dude I am. I just have a little bit more creativity than you guys might, because all these alpha males dudes just seem to swagger jack each other off all the time, and I just don't understand how they're not. Why doesn't one of you guys just decide to be Batman so the rest catch on? Plainly, alpha males, I'm calling you out. The next time that someone dies from a crime, I'm holding every alpha male responsible. Next time a crime even happens and is not stopped by a muscle-bound man with infinite funds to fight whatever legal cases or shit that would come after that is not present to stop it, I'm holding everybody that's in the alpha male manosphere personally responsible. You guys are all going down. You're all going down, I promise you. If that you guys don't start fighting some crime, dude, you will see me in the court of public opinion. That is my promise to you, you so-called alpha males. Here is my dick. Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's really cool that you guys stuck around to the end of the video. I'm gonna go get some head. I'll see you guys later.